Seems like the biggest thing that guys on the team have said they want to improve on is controlling tempo when you're ahead and making sure you're not letting teams back in games. What have you been working on, and how do you go about fine-tuning that aspect?
It's been a theme. It's been a theme all the way since preseason. You know, we had a couple games even in preseason where we went up, and then how do we close out games? I think what you do in training is you just devise games, small games where, you know, you score in one of two ways. You either score by getting, 15 passes, or you shoot the ball into a small goal or a big goal, and just make them think about, okay, if the goal is being blocked, I can just bring the ball back out here and still get rewarded by connecting passes. So simple little things like that are things we try and get through to them in practice without changing the dynamic of our team, because what the good thing about all this is how we've started, even in the second half against Chicago. I mean, they've started off fast, and, they didn't just kill the tempo and just connect a bunch of passes. They went out for that third goal, and they actually accomplished it.
How much emphasis has it been on having quick starts, or has that always been the plan, but it just never got executed?
Yeah, that's all them. It's all them, Nico. I mean, they're up for the games. They understand the fact that when MLS, you guys can dig through the stats, but the team that scores first has a statistical advantage in outcomes of games, positive outcomes of games. So, if we can score the first goal, we put ourselves in a good spot.
When you are looking to control tempo, is there one position group you hope to really take leadership in that role, or is it more of a team effort?
I think traditionally it's been your midfielders, your playmaking midfielders. Ozzy did a great job at that for us. Christian and Gustav certainly can do it, but it goes through the whole team. I mean, Nico's a big part of our attacking. You wouldn't say that Jordan Morris is a possession type of player. He's more of a, vertical straight line type of player, but they all can do it. Steph can do it from his position. So it has to be certain individuals leading the charge, but we have a senior team. They're all capable of it.
How surprised are you with Leerdam's contributions in offense? And is that something you worked on in preseason, or is it just something that's kind of happened?
That's all Kelvin. I think you guys have done the stories on Kelvin about, some of the things that he wanted to change from last year, and he's going out there and he's accomplishing that. He's making an impact on both sides of the ball, and we're happy to see it.
When you guys send so many numbers up in attack, and with as aggressive as you are, there tends to be some holes defensively at times. How do you correct that and keep that identity of aggressiveness?
Well, we always stress active defending. That's one of our core playing principles. And so as we attack, it might look like we're undisciplined, but actually we are very disciplined. We always want to create a numbers up advantage. We never want to stay for 2 for 2, 1 for 1. So whether that comes with Gustav sitting in front of the center backs, whether it's one outside back goes, the other guy covers, whether it's, Kelvin does go forward, what are the responsibilities of Jordan, Gustav, Christian, whoever it might be, even one of the center backs sliding over. We solve it different ways, but we never, ever want to be reckless.
I'm sure you guys imagined that Jordan would play his way back into the national team fold if he was playing well here, but does it surprise you at all just how fast he was able to get back in the mix there, and what do you make of how he was able to
surprised to get back in the mix? That's Greg's call. He's the one that selects the team. Surprised that Jordan is playing up to his abilities? No, not even. I mean, the kid worked really hard last year to get back, to have an opportunity to play for his club first and then play for his national team. So I am not surprised. The kid put in the hard work.
Moving into this bye week with the guys who are here, how important is it for the depth pieces to show well with maybe less guys out here?
Well, the depth pieces need to make sure they're continuing to work and train, because the guys that are out on international duty are doing the same thing. They're working and training with their teams. So a lot of this is a physical component. We want to make sure that we get them ready for when they have to be called into action. But Damian Roden is one of the best fitness guys in the league. He's got a very specific plan that we follow, and we have not had any injuries. The team has been playing at a very high level. The VHI and HID running has been very good. So they're adapting and they're understanding what he wants, what we as a coaching staff want, and I think it's been good.
When you start so hot, is there ever a thought of maybe during a break you can lose some of that momentum or anything?
Come
like
on, no chance. We're cracking the whip. I let Preki run training today, and he's tougher than I am. So crack the whip every day. They got to work.
You talked a little bit after the game about the defensive substitutions you made at the end of the game, maybe not working as well as you wanted. After looking at the film, did you see anything that you'll be able to correct, or what did you see in that?
Well, look, I brought Roman on to bring 3 center backs on, but Gustav has had a tendency the last couple of games to drop in between the 2 center backs when we only have 2, and at times it looked like we were playing with 4 center backs. So wasn't really great. We need to kind of refigure that through personnel, through tactics, through training. We worked on it a couple of days this season because I like when I can bring Roman on to close out games. I love that. So we just got to kind of fine tune that. The outside guys now, if you have 3 center backs, the outside guys can now push up, block crosses, defend crosses a little more. And then if they do get a cross off, well, you've got 3 giants in there, Kim, Roman, and Chad. So any lofted ball, we got 3 center backs in there. So I like the idea behind it. We just got to fine tune it.
Tell me a little bit about last night's event, celebrating Kenton.
There's a lot of old timers there, including myself. We tried to roast him a little bit about his age and, make, his birth certificate had expired and, little stuff like that. You're so old, your birth certificate expired. But it was a great evening because it brought all or most of the soccer people in this community together, all in one location. Yes, to honor Al and all the stuff that he has done for soccer in this region, but also to celebrate all of us. Bernie James was there, Neil Megson, Alan, Bobby Howe, and I hope I don't forget any of the other coaches, that coached the Sounders in the past. And, players, Billy Crook, Chance Fry, Frank Barton, Dave Gillett. I mean, players that are still here in this area were all at that event. Mm-hmm. People that worked in the offices. It was a great event to get everybody together. And I think it's a worthy cause because we don't want to lose that history of soccer in this state. It's a pretty lengthy one, and somebody has to do the work to compile all that information. Plus, they're setting aside money. We raised a bunch of money to set aside for some underprivileged kids to help them out. So all in all, it was a great event.
How do you prepare for a roast?
How do I?
Or how did you, yeah.
Well, it's pretty easy to poke fun at Al. I mean, Bernie and Marcus and me and Jeff Stock, we came up on stage and started telling a few old stories. So it was good. It was fun. We had a good night.